It's time for a special program called The 11th Hour, featuring Hughes, Deputy Director of the Washington County Board of Behavioral Health. This weekly program will shed light on important issues in our area and the positive steps we're taking to combat them.
Good morning. This is Hughes from the Washington County Behavioral Health Board, and I'm here with the 11th Hour here on your local radio station, WMOA. And with me this morning, I have Tammy Harris, who's the PAX coordinator for the Washington County Schools. Welcome, Tammy.
Hi, Hillis. Thanks for having me.
So tell us about PAX. What is it?
PAX is a good behavior game. It means peace in Latin and provides a peaceful, productive, healthy, and happy environment for our kids to learn and grow and make good decisions and prosper in life. It's an environmental intervention which is culturally neutral and used in the classroom to create a nurturing environment that is conducive to learning.
So I guess, Tammy, I'm wondering, why do we need something like this here in Washington County? Why is this program so important, especially right now, given some of the challenges that we have in our community?
Well, the United States Institute of Medicine, the Surgeon General's office, and other entities have cited this good behavior game, which has also been studied by Johns Hopkins University, for remarkable long-term effects on reducing lifetime mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders, and for increasing better lifetime education and other outcomes.
So I know when I worked at Marietta College and I was working with students who were studying to be teachers, and they were in their last year of school and they were student teaching, and I would ask them in our sort of mock interviews, I would say, so what has most surprised you about your experiences with student teaching? And I was always surprised that a lot of them would say, wow, I can't believe what our children are dealing with today, because even though I'm not that old, I'm only 21 or 22, I just don't remember having all of the challenges that our kids have in school today. And as a teacher, it just makes me feel like, wow, am I really the teacher? Can I really focus on teaching math when my kids are dealing with not being able to eat breakfast in the morning and their mom being taken away to prison?
Yeah, well, PAX Good Behavior Game is aligned with the 6 key principles of the trauma-informed approach to meet the needs of children who have adverse childhood experiences, or what we call ACEs. It can also adapt to scaffold successes for children with special needs and tiered interventions to ensure all students' success in the classroom.
So in terms of the trainings, because I know I actually had the privilege of attending a training in January, and it was really interesting, Tammy, because I watched, it was like bad weather that day, it was in the middle of winter, and I watched all of the elementary school teachers, kind of file into the training room, and everybody looked a little bit sad and burnout, and it was cold and yucky weather. And I've got to tell you, by the end of the day, I was so impressed by the transformation. So talk to me a little bit about the training and sort of the philosophy and why you think it makes a difference to the teachers.
Well, PAX Good Behavior Game infuses a set of evidence-based strategies called kernels, and a classroom game, which is a classroom game that evolved from the original Good Behavior Game developed and studied in the 1960s. The kernels and the PAX game increase self-regulation and cooperative behaviors and decrease unwanted behaviors, which we call spleens. Daily use of the kernels affects the brain system, such as inhibition control, executive cognitive function, emotional regulation, error monitoring, and reward sensitivity. Using PAX, teachers are able to reduce transition time and student responses, increase completion of tasks, reduce the time that students need to complete tasks in the classroom or out of the classroom. It also regulates group behavior and increases students' focus during instruction, increases positive and pro-social behaviors, and leadership qualities as well.
So I know when I attended the training in January, one of the things that I learned is I remember when I was in school, let's say the class got kind of noisy, right? And the teacher was trying to get everybody's attention. I remember the teacher clapping her hands, very vigorously, very loudly. And I would remember hearing that clap, 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 clap noise. And I remember learning in the training with PAX that, we are reintroducing trauma for kids when we do things like that. And so that was something that really struck me, because I thought about, wow, that whole way of managing a classroom that was so kind of violent and aggressive, right? And even though I hadn't necessarily experienced trauma, I could see how kids who came from trauma, hearing that noise would have been very disruptive. And yet the teachers are coming at it when, oh, well, that was what I did because I wanted to get everybody to be quiet.
That's right. When I grew up in southeastern Ohio as well, and our teachers often used a cowbell or a whistle. However, in PAX, teachers use harmonicas, and most students haven't been traumatized by a harmonica. It's just a very neutral, soft sound, and so that is the cue that the teachers use in class to quiet the children so that they can give important instruction.
So how many schools and approximately how many teachers do you think are now utilizing this incredible technique here in Washington County?
Well, we currently have 242 trained educators and staff throughout 11 elementaries. Trainings have kind of been scattered this past school year, and we are planning another training for August. We have approximately 100 classrooms implementing PAX Good Behavior Game. And that is not including special teachers or intervention teachers. And many of the schools are working on school-wide goals for implementation of PAX outside of the classroom, including the hallways, the restrooms, the cafeteria, and the playground, so they can have more positive behavior throughout the school as a whole.
So you're going on to year 2 now, Tammy, with PAX?
Stepping into year 2.
So what are some of your goals for the year 2?
Well, our trainings were scattered this year, so we have teachers that trained at the beginning of last year, and then we have teachers that trained at the beginning of this year. So our goals are to have everybody roll out together per school and set goals, monthly goals with each other. And then we also have what's called coaches, partners in place. So these are PAX-trained staff who work in the schools as counselors or case managers. And some are teachers, and they coach and implement, assist with implementation with PAX in the school and with the teachers.
Well, it sounds as if this is an incredible program. I know I've attended some of the opioid hub meetings of all of the superintendents, and the feedback has been amazing. And it sounds like you've got big plans for the upcoming year. Are you going to take a little rest this summer?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to take have brain break myself a little bit, maybe some family time, some relaxation.
So, Tammy, if I had a harmonica, I'd play a harmonica, but I don't have a harmonica. But on behalf of the Behavioral Health Board, I just want to say thank you for all that you do for PAX and the schools in our community. And everybody out there listening, if you have any more questions or you want more information on PAX, feel free to contact Tammy Harris. And the best way to get a hold of her is her email, tharris@wcgov.org. And that's tharris@wcgov.org. Well, I'm signing off for the 11th hour Behavioral Health Board here on your local radio station, WMOA. Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the 11th Hour, a service of the Washington County Board of Behavioral Health. Tune in next Friday at 11:05 a.m. right here on WMOA for another edition of the 11th Hour.